Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's gathering on behalf of the UN-recognized International Day of Peace. My name is James Lynch. I'm a Risho Kosakai Buddhist practitioner and the current president of the Buddhist Council of New York. And on behalf of the Buddhist Council of New York and as an officer of the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York, I welcome all of you with a heart of compassion and, yes, hope. Indeed, both organizations, the Buddhist Council of New York and the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundations, are firmly committed to the cause of peace. Indeed, the Buddhist Council of New York's theme has been for several years the new culture of peace and love now. And while people question why we may have started that 3 years ago, under the current circumstances in the world today, I think we understand why we need more peace in our families, communities, and in the world. And the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation is literally a think tank for peace, with a focus on the ending of the scourge of nuclear proliferation and man's inhumanity to man. Excuse the pronoun there. And I am extremely grateful to the organizers of this historic gathering and all of the venerables who will participate this morning, and also evening if you're in that part of the world, which is evening, and especially the former president of the Buddhist Council of New York and the founder of the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation, Venerable Nakagaki, a leader and a monk of his time, but definitely ahead of his time, for his compassionate action to create footprints of peace for the progression of the entire world. So today, we remember the International Day of Peace, which was established in 1981 by the United Nations General Assembly. Now, 2 decades later, from 2001, the General Assembly unanimously unanimously, hard word to get out, voted to designate the day as a period of non-violence and ceasefire. Indeed, each year, the International Day of Peace is observed around the world on the 21st of September. It happens to be my birthday, so I never forget it. And the UN General Assembly has declared this as a day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace through observing 24 hours of non-violence and ceasefire. In 2021, we need to be ever mindful as we have this ongoing pandemic that we are one world and we need to work together so that we can end the scourge of this ongoing pandemic. And in line with the Secretary General's appeal for a global ceasefire last March in February 2021, the General Secretary unanimously passed a resolution calling for all member states, to support a sustained humanitarian pause to local conflicts. And we must make, as they also indicated there, peace with nature. So the 2021 theme for the International Day of Peace is recovering better for an equitable and sustainable world. What beautiful words. We invite you to join the efforts of the United Nations family as we focus on recovering better for a more equitable and peaceful world. Celebrate peace by standing up against acts of hate online and offline, and by spreading compassion, kindness, and hope in the face of the tremendous challenges that confront the world. And so I want to just offer this final words to all of you. So today we're using our bodies and minds to lovingly help each other take one more step to a world of peace, knowing that today is a sacred day, that together as a community of believers and supporters from different faith paths, that we move together with a renewed sense of hope for the possibilities of better days, knowing that we will be successful. As I've stated on many occasions in the past, to me, the Almighty, the eternal Buddha Shakyamuni, has ordained that each of you is a lighthouse, and the lighthouse often doesn't know how many ships that a tiny beam of it will stop a ship from crashing into disaster. As the Buddha recommends, let us make ourselves the light and the truth the light, and let that light be a hopeful light for others. Finally, let us pray that the Buddha's will be done, and that the great life force in and through the universe, whom we devoutly revere and often call by different names, the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and saints of all faiths, and countless heavenly beings who are omnipresent in the 10 directions, will watch over our peaceful steps today in whatever way they can, and extend their hands of compassion and guidance and beckon forth peace in our local areas, our various countries, and in our world. We also pray that the world of all living beings will find peace. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, September the 21st, 2020. James Lynch, Rishokoso Sakai Buddhist practitioner, president of the Buddhist Council of New York. I have respectfully and sincerely offered these words of respect on this, the International Day of Peace. And with those opening remarks from me, I'd like to have Venerable Nakagaki come up and speak to you. Thank you. Venerable Nakagaki.
Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening for everyone. So today is International Day of Peace. So we'd like to have this gathering, although this was a very last minute decision that we can do or not. But I believe, this is an important day, basically. And plus, I've heard, or I realized this is the 40th anniversary of the International Day of Peace. So I feel like, oh yeah, I mean, since this my organization, Heiwa, Peace and Reconciliation Foundation, so I can't ignore this particular day. And then by having this gathering itself, we're just telling today is an International Day of Peace. Why don't we, think of the peace and then the value of the peace, and also avoid all the conflicts. And then this is supposed to be the day 24 hours ceasefire, right? And to begin with, and so any of the weapons, any of the feeling that you want to have other people, the fighting itself is not just the when you're war, but actually our life sometimes, even within our life, we have a war, war in the family sometimes, even that you can use this day as a stopping the fighting. And then the fight, not firing with the words can stop, firing with thinking stop, and firing of the the body, of course, stop too. So I think it's the important day to have this gathering today, I believe. So, and we're talking with three organizers together. The International Buddhist Education Center, as well as the Sanghakaya Foundation together. So we decide to organize this, and I know this is because of the pandemic of the coronavirus, and also natural disaster all over the place happening now at this point too. So it is not easy to make this peaceful day, but yet at least we will consider ourselves, make ourselves to think or focus on the peace for today. So I hope you can make this day as a practice of peace. And from the Buddhist sense, of course, peace meaning was realized or practiced by get rid of blind passion, so-called greed, anger, hatred, or ignorance. Sorry, and so those three poisons, so-called. So we should control those. We try to control, although we do have all those things, yet we can control somehow once you recognize or be mindful of the things that we are having in our mind and thinking and all those things. So if you don't know why it's happening, that's very difficult too, but yet at least you have Buddhist teaching the Buddha taught long ago. I mean, almost now it's 2,500 years ago, but yet the what the Buddha taught about the mindfulness, so the sati, I guess the words in Pali, and those meditations, wisdom, compassion, those are very, very important. And then that is exactly the International Day of Peace that we need to do. Basically, we need to really go back to the practice of the Buddha or teaching of the Buddha. So with that, I would like to welcome all of you to join us, and people who are watching Facebook, and hope you can share this one. And so by spreading, that's telling people today is an International Day of Peace. Let's bring the peace to this, our society, yourself, and entire world. So thank you so much.
Next person, thank you so much for those beautiful words, Venerable Nakagaki. Next, we have wonderful words from Dr. Venerable Sobhita. Dr. Sobhita, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mr. J, for that you are the invited to contribute me. Firstly, I'm very happy to see you all. Most have been Dr. Genjisu Nagakaki. He was a Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York. And then most have been Ajahn Brachis Yarana Gautam, Sanghakaya Foundation from India, and Mr. P. Yarana, Dr. Mr. P. Yarana Maharajan from Nepal. I'm really happy to see you all because you all are the happy and healthy now. And then so that everybody now they recover from the pandemic because Dr. Bia also the goddess the pandemic most have been Kenjisu Nagakaki also and this so yeah. Today International Days of Peace and United Nations. We are discussing about the International Peace Day. I will be there contribute message from Secretary General of United Nations. But firstly, I wanted to share the background histories of the International Days of Peace. Actually, International Days of Peace annually on 21st September is dedicated to world peace. The absence of war and the violence, such as it might be occasioned by the temporary ceasefire in a conflict zone for humanitarian aid access. The day was first celebrated in 1981, and it kept by many nations, political groups, military. Today, the United Nations Peace Fair is run at United Nations headquarters in New York City. The Peace Fair, the inscription on its side read, "Long life, absolutely world peace." Beginning in 1983, at the request of the Office of the Secretary General of the United Nations, Pathways to Peace, PTP, submitted We the People initiated annual reports to the United Nations. Summarizing the Peace Day activity for its initiated for the International Years of Peace in 1987. PTP was granted Peace Messenger status by United Nations Secretary General. In 2006, the name was changed from the We the People Initiative to Cultures of Peace Initiated. In 2001, the opening days of the General Assemblies was scheduled for 11 September. The Secretary General Kofi Annan read a message from recognizing the observance of International Peace Day on 21st September. The September 11 attacks offense refers to as 9/11 were perpetrated on these same days when the series of full coordinated terrorist attacks by the militant Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda against the United States of America occurs just block away from the United Nations on the morning of Tuesday. September 11, 2001, this year the day was changed from the thus Tuesday of subsequently the 21st days of the September to take effect in the 2002. A new resolution was passed by the General Assembly, sponsored by the United Kingdom and Costa Rica, to give the International Days of Peace a fixed calendar date 21st September 2002, and agrees it also as a day of global ceasefire and non-violence day. The themes as of the 2060 International Days of Peace was the Sustainable Development Goal, building blocks for peace. This theme is based on the Together Global campaign that promotes respect, safety, and dignities for everyone forced to flee their home in search of a better life. The 2018 United Nations Peace Day theme is the rise to peace, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights at Article 17. According to the United Nations website, The United Nations called upon all to take actions to tackle climate change. On 23 September 2019, the United Nations is convening a climate action summit with concrete and realistic plans to accelerate actions to implement the Paris Agreement. The International Days of Peace Students' Observance on 20 September 2019 at the United Nations headquarters will feature young people presenting their approaches to fight climate change and promote peace. The United Nations has selected the theme Shaping Peace Together for the 2020 International Days of Peace. According to the United Nations website, this year it has been clearer than ever that we are not each other's enemies. Rather, our common enemy is a tireless virus that's threatening our health and security in very ways of life. COVID-19 has thrown our world into turmoil and probably reminded us that what has happened in the past of the planet and impacts people everywhere. The 2021 themes for the International Days of Peace is Recovery Better for the Equitable and Sustainable World. In present situation in Myanmar, now I want to express the situation about Myanmar political crisis. Myanmar has suffered more than half a year of unrest since the military coup seized the power, removing the democratically elected government on February 1st, 2021. The Nationalists for Democracy Party (NLD) won the landslide victory in Myanmar general election in November 2020. But after the military claimed unsustained electoral fraud, it seized power and ousted the government. NLD leaders Aung San Suu Kyi and President women has been detained since, faces a several charges in Myanmar. Gradually, there may be outrages, there may be also be the crackdown. The main one is the people don't assess the military coup at all. According to the Associations for Political Prisoners (AAPP) evidence, there's more than 1,000 people has been expired in Myanmar. Thousands has also been unlawfully arrested, accused of violating the country redefined 505 Ngayangaka Penal Code, which made it a crime to the district government operations of ways extend this could cause fears. It is very difficult for the people to expect something different in the short term. Now, most of the young people, they went to the jungle and joined the People Defense Army. And some don't go to the jungle and from their own small, ungrouped local People Defense Army. And General Mail Online recently announced the State Administrative Council will be rebranded as the country caretaker government. He adds that the country's state of emergency will be extended until August 2023 and the promised new general election. Suddenly, after the military coup, the shadow government was formed, including outside politicians and leaders from ethnic groups in Myanmar. The National Unity Government (NUG) claims to be the legitimate government of the country. Protests by the People Defense Force (PTF), the military deemed both illegal in Myanmar. My country, Myanmar, is now facing with armed conflicts and leading to civil war. No peace and no security in public area in Myanmar. Everywhere are fighting and bombing and killing each other, military and People Defense Army. Because of military and PDS fighting each other in everywhere in Myanmar. Now, I hear what the concludes message Secretary General from the United Nations 2021 International Days of Peace message. The 2021 themes for the International Days of Peace is recovery, better for the equitable and sustainable development around the world. That's why I call for the 24 hours ceasefire today, and by working in a solidarity for the lasting, sustainable peace every day, we can tackle the issue facing us. We need peace to urgently deliver the life-saving vaccine and the treatments for COVID-19. We need peace to recover from the pandemic and rebuild shelters system in the shelters life. We need peace to level the playing field and reduce inequality around the world. We need peace to renew trust in one another Faith in the first science. We need to make peace in the nature to heal our planet, build a green economy, and achieve our net zero targets. Peace is not a native dream, it is light in the darkness, guiding us to the only pathways to the better future for the humanity. Let's call the pathway of peace as if our lives depended on it, because they do. As a human family, we face a stark choice, peace or perpetual poverty. We must choose peace. We must establish ourselves individual peace to family peace to society peace peace to state peace to the global peace to the worldwide peace. We can get peace easily. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, most member, and thank you so much, Mr. J. You have invited me, and Mr. B. Yarana also.
Thank you so much, Dr. Venerable Sohita, for those wonderful and inspiring words. I would now believe, according to my schedule, which I have in front of me, it's not from my mind, which I was just given it to me a little earlier by the wonderful Honorable Ratna, but I think we're up to the music selection. Is that correct? Are we having a music selection right now? Yes, thank you.
Nashina sand kula manifesting all that is manifest. National sound tola, national sound tola. Those who think they know you by their thoughts are either far from you or do not know you at all, do not know you at all. As the day total national sound tola, dar har chehoveido national sound tola, national sound tola. National song tola, national song tola. 己の思い込みを倒し、知る神は真理にほど遠い、真理にあらず。As the day total national song tola, dar har chehoveido national song tola. As the day total national song tola, dar har chehoveido national song tola, national song tola, national song tola.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Layla. Wonderful. I don't know.
So the video itself is a little bit longer than that I was thinking, because first I thought it would be good to hear the messages also, because one of the reasons that I like to do this time also was because of the January 22nd this year, so 2021, there's a treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons. Those actually become effective. So which means 86 countries currently sign it, and also 55 countries ratified this bill. And so it's legally it's on effect. But yet, of course, the country who possess the nuclear weapons now really sign it, but yet it became a international law. So it's in a way, after the nuclear weapon was used, 1945, which is 76 years ago, and so after, in a way, last meeting, so 75 after the 75 years, finally there is the one important prohibition of the nuclear weapons. So because it is a very, very dangerous situation, as everybody knows, or some people may not know, but then, of course, simply saying like 13,000 nuclear weapons existed on this earth. I mean, 13,000, that's a lot, more than 13,000. And also, each the power of the nuclear weapons now is they said 10,000, 1,000 times or 5,000 times stronger. What does that mean? If you use one, even like an accident happens, it is very, very dangerous. And so it's a threat to the humanity, but also threat to the earth or environment we are talking about. So we need to really reduce all those things, and hopefully this, our meeting can encourage people to really recognize even their own governments to support if your country is not supporting yet. Because actually, although Japan is the only country, experienced nuclear weapons, but country itself still not really yet sign it or nor ratified. So actually, I'm actually doing a campaign for signing campaign, the campaign that pushed the Japanese government to consider to join or sign it and ratify, so that no other country also carry nuclear weapons even from now. And then if the country has a nuclear weapons, try to consider that, stop those things, and so protect our own people, nations, also the earth from the accident, or even actually some places, of course, as Myanmar, the priest mentioned about the wars going on. If anybody decide to use the nuclear weapon somehow, it's going to be really devastating. So anyway, so having said that, so there's a part of the ceremony that I had in a Hiroshima Day and Nagasaki Day in this August. So that's what I'd like to share at this part. Okay. So thank you very much. And then let me share the screen. This is going to be including some of the messages from the mayors of Hiroshima, mayor of Nagasaki of this year. And also I decided to put one hibakusha, a survivor from atomic bomb, to speak in that. And so I hope you understand what I meant. Okay. Let me share the screen. Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us today for the 28th annual Interfaith Peace Gathering to commemorate the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombs. The part 1 today is on Hiroshima Day, and the part 2 is on the other day, on Nagasaki Day on August 8th.
Tonight marks the 76th anniversary of the dropping of the bomb over Nagasaki. We gather to commemorate all those who lost their lives and those who were directly affected by the event, with prayers that such an event will never occur again.
August 5th at 7:15 p.m. here is in Eastern Standard Time is equivalent to August 6th at 8:15 a.m. in Japan, when the first atomic bomb was dropped to Hiroshima. And then August 8th at 10:02 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time is equivalent to August 9th at 11:02 a.m. in Japan, when the second and last atomic bomb was dropped to Nagasaki.
Hi, this is Reverend TK Nakagaki. I'm president of the Heiwa, Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York. So I'd like to welcome all of you to join us today for this 28th Interfaith Gathering. As the Nakamura-san, Yoshiko-san, she's the chair today, mentioned that this is a part 1, the Hiroshima Day, and a part 2 will be the Nagasaki Day. So those two are very important days that I think I consider is a very important time to really reflect upon how dangerous the nuclear weapons are, and also how important those peace that we have. And then, fortunately, the third one was never been used yet. But right now in the world, do you know how many nuclear weapons exist? 13,000, nuclear weapons exist, which all of them is much, much, much stronger than the one that was used for the Hiroshima or Nagasaki. And if any accident happens, that will be, really chaotic for our planet. And so it is, in a way, it's a very, very urgent. Like, Corona thing is, I guess, considered urgent, but yet this nuclear weapon itself is really urgent for the humanity and also this planet of Earth. And so that's something that I want you to be aware, and all the people who are watching this be aware of how dangerous, threatening, for all the humanity and all this planet of Earth that we have for the nuclear weapons.
Good evening. My name is Michi Takeuchi. I am the president of New York Hiroshima Association. I grew up in Hiroshima, and my family survived the atomic bombing. Today, I'd like to share with you the highlights of the peace declaration made by the mayor of Hiroshima, Mayor Matsui. On this day, 76 years ago, a single atomic bomb instantly reduced our hometown to a scorched plain. That bombing brought cruel death to countless innocent victims and left those who managed to survive with profound, lifelong physical and emotional injuries due to radiation, fear of after effects, and economic hardship. One survivor who gave birth to a girl soon after the bombing says, "As more horrors of the bomb came to light, and I became more concerned about their effects, I worried less about myself and more about my child. Imagining the future awaiting my daughter, my suffering grew night after sleepless night. No one else should ever suffer as we have." These words express the weight of survivors who, having to know horrors too painful to recall, were condemned to fear, frustration, and agony by the likely future of their children and their own irradiated bodies. When Hibakusha tell their stories, they convey not only the horror and inhumanity of nuclear weapons, but also an intense yearning for peace, born of compassion. Finally, after 75 long years of sustained activity, their demands have moved the international community this year. This year, on January 22nd, the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, TPNW, entered into effect. It remains now for world leaders to support the treaty, shifting their focus toward a truly sustainable society free from nuclear weapons. The road to abolition will not be smooth, but a ray of hope shines from the young people now taking up the Hibakusha's quest. One survivor who witnessed held that day entrust our future to the young with these words: "Start small, but start." I hope each of you will do whatever you can to promote and maintain the treasure we call peace. I ask our young to sustain an unshakable conviction that nuclear weapons are incompatible with full, healthy lives for their loved ones. I further ask them to share that conviction persuasively with people around the world. Given the uncertainty concerning nuclear weapons derived from stalled disarmament negotiations, I have an urgent demand to make of world leaders. The time has come for a profound tactical shift away from the reliance threats and move toward security based on trust derived from dialogue. Experience has taught humanity that threatening others for self-defense benefits no one. Our leaders must understand that threatening rivals with nuclear weapons achieves nothing of value. But treating each other with empathy and building long-lasting friendship connect directly to national self-interest. To that end, I urge all world leaders to visit Hiroshima and Nagasaki, achieve a deeper understanding of the bombings, fulfill the disarmament mandate of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and join the discussions aimed at maximizing the effectiveness of the TPNW. At this peace memorial ceremony, marking 76 years since the bombing, we offer heartfelt prayers for the peaceful repose of the souls of the atomic bomb victims. Together with Nagasaki and like-minded people around the world, we pledge to do everything in our power to abolish nuclear weapons and light the way toward lasting world peace. Matsui Kazumi, Mayor, the city of Hiroshima.
And my name is Nobu Kimoto. I'm a second generation Hibakusha from Nagasaki. I've lived in New York for 25 years, and currently I'm a member of New York Nagasaki Kenjinkai, also the chairman of New York Battenkai. At this time, I will read the mayor of Nagasaki's message for peace. On behalf of the citizens of Nagasaki, I would like to extend this message to the Interfaith Peace Gathering commemoration of Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombings. First of all, I would like to express my deep respect and gratitude to the organizers for organizing this annual event to offer prayer to the repose of the soul of the atomic bomb victims and for peace. At 11:02 a.m., August 9, 1945, Nagasaki was instantly destroyed by a single atomic bomb. 74,000 precious lives were lost, and a further 75,000 were injured. Based on this tragic experience, the atomic bomb survivors and the citizens of Nagasaki have continued to appeal for the realization of a world without nuclear weapons, so as to make sure that no one else in the world will ever experience the same tragic lot by the use of nuclear weapons. In January of this year, as we marked 76 years from the atomic bombing, the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons entered into force. This also marked a new beginning towards the realization of a world without nuclear weapons. Just as a voice calling for the abolition of nuclear weapons facilitated the birth of the TPNW, we, civil society, must work together and continue to speak out more than ever before in order to utilize the treaty's entry into force as momentum to accelerate progress towards the abolition of nuclear weapons. The key to doing so will be for many people to share their wishes for the abolition of nuclear weapons by utilizing opportunities such as this event. I firmly believe that combination of each and every precious action will create a large moment that will ultimately affect change in the world. I sincerely hope that through this event, the seed of peace will be sown in your hearts and for it to grow, spreading the culture of peace throughout to the world. In closing, I extend my best wishes for the successful event and for the good health and the continued success of all guests and participants. August 8, 2021. Tomihisa Taue, Mayor of Nagasaki.
My name is Tomiko Morimoto West. I'm almost 90 years old now, but when atomic bomb dropped, I was only 13. So that was a long time ago. However, I still can remember every little thing as it happened yesterday, but I have forgotten all the bad things happened to me, and my life is perfect right now. So I'd like you to know that. However, I lost my husband 3.5 years ago, and I live here by myself, but everyone is very good to me, and I am the luckiest person in the whole world. So about the atomic bomb, that was 8:15 to be exact on August 6, 1945. And at that time, we didn't go to, we had to give up the pen and the notebook, you know. So we had to go to work in a government factory to support the war affair. So anyway, so I was only outside of this factory, and I saw the B-29 flying, and I recognized the sounds of the B-29. And so it was only one plane. I looked up and I said, oh, they were just taking the pictures as they came very often before that. So and suddenly I saw the flash coming out of an airplane, and right after that, everything started falling down, and I covered myself. And anyways, everything that right before that happened already, fire was coming from behind me. So only thing I could do was to run away from fire, and I ended up in this mountain, which is called Koi in Hiroshima. And so we had to stay there for a couple of days, and I saw that Hiroshima burning from the mountain. And the teacher said that we can go home if your family could come to pick you up. And of course, how would I have known then? My family was dead. But anyway, so later on, I was promised to leave for home, and my home was on the other side of Hiroshima. It's called Mount Hiji. So I had to go across the entire Hiroshima city to get to my home. And the site between this Koi Mountain to Hiroshima, to go home was travel site. The most impressive thing I remember was little baby was sucking on mom's breast, and the mom was dead. But then, nothing I could do. I had to keep on moving. And I came to this, the bridge was all down. So I had to go find a bridge where I could. Hiroshima has 7 rivers, and we had to go across the bridge no matter, which way you go. And this one bridge I could go was a railroad bridge. So it's like between the railroad ties is water, and if you fall down, you just have to go to the ocean with the rest of the people. But I managed to go across that. And I finally arrived where my home was, and of course it was burnt. And the man who used to work for us, he said, I didn't see your mom, but I saw your grandmother and grandfather. So I said, where were they? So they went to the Mount Hiji. They had the cave dug in there to survive from the bombing. And so when I got there, they were alive. And my grandfather's back was all pierced with broken glasses, and my grandmother, she was almost incoherent. But then, to make long story longer, to make a long story shorter, my grandfather died there, and then my grandmother died as she followed him. And at that time, we still had a Japanese soldier because war did not end till 15th of August. And soldiers came and they were trying to collect all the dead people. And I was only 13. I stood up to those soldiers. You're not taking my grandfather. I will burn him myself, which I did. So that was some experience for me. But since I had such a bad experience when I was young, every day I wake up is such a peaceful day, and I am most grateful. And I think I learned to appreciate everything I have right now. And so my life is perfect right now, thanks to everybody. And so I guess I'll end my story. Tanka I made was セミの音や故郷の音とは異なれど、夏が来たよと我に伝える。Especially in Hiroshima, where I come from, that in the summertime is all day long, that the cicada keeps on chirping till it's quite annoying almost. So I'm here in Lagrangeville, I'm in country setting, and when I hear cicada chirping, I think of Hiroshima very often. But sound is quite different between two countries. So that's why I made this tanka about that, how different it is. And cicada chirps differently in Japan, Hiroshima and here, but message is the same. Summer is near. So is it okay? Thank you so much.
Dear colleagues, friends, wishing the peace for the whole world.
This is
Very important day,
short
the
version.
event that took place in the world, so very destructive. From since then, we all pray for the peace and harmony among all beings. Wishing so, I will recite the sutra, piece of sutras from the teachings of the Buddha. Sukhi bhaveyang niddukho ahang niccang ahang viya itacha me sukhi hontu majjatta tacha verino. Be happy. May all beings in the 10 directions be happy and well. May peace prevail in the world. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you. The word Gaia means our planet Earth in Greek. Gaia, which is our planet Earth, is allowing all the lives to coexist in harmony with each other on this planet. Everything exists and are living, helping each other in accordance with the law of nature. I would like to give a blessing on all the involvement today, peace ceremony in Shinto style, with deepest gratitude and appreciation. かけまくも賢きイザナギの狼、福祉の無冠の立花の殿、淡路原にみそぎ払いたまいし、時にとなりませる払い戸の狼たち、もろもろのまがとの罪けがれはあらむべと、払いたまえ清めたまえと申すこれは、ひこしめせとかしこみ申す。
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनं पूर्वार्युगमेऽभ्यन्तरां मृत्योर्मुक्षेयमामृता ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनं लोकाः समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May peace prevail on earth. Thank you.
Dear God of peace, we come to you today and every day pleading for the grace to work tirelessly to abolish nuclear weapons and all weapons that threaten and destroy your magnificent creation. We beg your forgiveness for our failure to accomplish this already. We mourn the horrific effects of the nuclear bombings of 76 years ago, the extreme, almost indescribable suffering they caused to hundreds of thousands of your people at that time and in the ensuing years. We must prevent such devastating death and destruction from ever happening again. We seek the skill to transform hearts and minds from faith in nuclear weapons to faith in compassion and cooperation across borders, all kinds of borders. We pray that those who profit from the nuclear weapons industry will reassess their priorities and put people and the survival of our planet first. God of love, embrace the Hibakusha with your care. God of mercy, protect us from our own violent tendencies. God of all times, grant us a future of peaceful coexistence and interdependence. Amen.
And it's really a humble honor to be here with all of you today as we remember the tragedy that took place in Nagasaki and also Hiroshima. I offer to you this reflection and prayer. O God of peace, God of mercy, and God of justice. Give us strength to remember the unspeakable nuclear horror that took place in Hiroshima and Nagasaki 76 years ago. Do not let us suffer from amnesia, but instead grant us courage to remember well so that we can more clearly see the injustices of war and discrimination which can take place in our time, and act to resolve our conflicts before they escalate.
There's a prayer that says, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shalomecha, spread over us the shelter of your peace. Sometimes the tune goes like this, and if those 4 words are too much, there's a la 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 part that I encourage you to do at home. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Peace, as we learn from that, is a very fragile structure. And unfortunately, on August 6th, that fragility was clearly evident. It's fragile all over the world. And a young woman, when she was just 11, Tali Sorek, wrote a poem, I Had a Box of Colors. I had a box of colors shining bright and bold. I had a box of colors, some warm, some very cold. I had no red for the blood of wounds. I had no black for the orphan's grief. I had no white for dead faces and hands. I had no yellow for burning sands. But I had orange for the joy of life, and I had green for the buds and nests. I had blue for bright, clear skies. I had pink for dreams and rest. I sat down and painted peace.
I want to give special thanks to Dr. Nagadaki. I want to start like the prayer. We ask to give all of us around the peace in our mind, body, soul, and the spirit. We want to help and remove everything that we cause grief and sorrow in our lives. Especially like we pray for all of like those 80,000 people are died and injured, almost 35,000 people. May God bless and peace them. And our beloved prophet mentioned, oh God, you are peace, from you come peace. To you return peace, revive us with solution, salutation of peace, and lead us to you above of peace. Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam, tabarakta dhul jalali wal ikram. O Allah, you are peace, and from you in peace. Blessed are you, O majestic and generous. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Minister Only Love Chika Alston, and I'm the Racial Justice Organizer at the Interfaith Center of New York. I'm also the leader of Prophetic World Ministries, an African-American Messianic ministry rooted in the Torah practice of the Jews of West Africa. And now I share words from Lift Every Voice and Sing, the African-American National Anthem. May it comfort my Japanese brothers and sisters on this day. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered, out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who has brought us thus far on the way, thou who has by thy might led us into the light, Keep us forever in the path we pray. Least our feet straight from the places, our God, where we met thee. Least our hearts drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God and true to our native land. Amen.
So we come together, we pray together, we hope the world will peace, will live in the world, will be peace. I'm chanting a Chinese Buddhist sutras like heart sutras, and that's for the human, for the peace of the world. I will start.
Goes tó bá gbádùn òjò tó sọ̀kalẹ̀, àlàáfíà á wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ. Tó bá gbọ́ ẹyẹ tó ń kọrin, àlàáfíà á wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ. Tó bá rí ẹja tí ó ń wẹ̀ nínú omi, àlàáfíà á wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ. Tó bá rí àwọn ọmọdé tó ń rẹ́rìn-ín, àlàáfíà yóò wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ. Àti tó bá gbọ́ kọrin nígbà tó ń rìn nínú igbó, àlàáfíà wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ. Tó bá dákẹ́ jókòó tó ń wo oòrùn tó sọ̀kalẹ̀, àlàáfíà á wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ. Àlàáfíà kó wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ gbogbo wa. And the translation is, when you enjoy raindrops, peace comes to you. When you hear birds sing, peace comes to you. When you see fishes swim in clean water, peace comes to you. When you hear children laugh, peace comes to you. And when you hear or hum walking in the woods, peace comes to you. When you sit quietly and watch the sun rise or set, peace comes to you. May peace come to everybody in everything that we are doing. And as we mark the 76th anniversary, may we not see any more Hiroshimas or Nagasaki in our lifetimes. With that,
To complement these commemorations for the past several years, I've had the privilege of bringing peace lights that you see behind me here. And it's an increasingly recognized symbol of peace from around the world. So it really has a place at commemorations such as this, solemn events, where the symbolism can come through. Wherever peace lights plays around the world, people are encouraged to project their own thoughts and intents for peace into the lights, thereby contributing to the collective energy that comes from literally all corners of the globe and is available for anyone who sees or even thinks about the lights as a symbol of solidarity for actions of peace, as a symbol of support if things are not going well, as a symbol of togetherness where we can all unite and hopefully help enable peace to prevail on an earth that is free from nuclear weapons.
What we're going to show is a peace bell from Hiroshima, Peace Park. And you will hear a lot of sound around, which is the cicadas. And in Japan in the summer, this is also the part of the atomic bomb. Although it's described as a very nice day, the blue sky, but also underneath, there's all the cicadas, just making a lot of noise. And so that's the part of the things that the people remember. And so
まもなく11時2分です。原爆死没者のご冥福と平和を祈り、黙祷を捧げます。会場の皆様、ご起立をお願いします。
It is almost 2 minutes past 11. We will pause for a moment of silent prayer for the souls of the atomic bomb victims and for world peace. Ladies and gentlemen, you're kindly requested to rise.
黙祷。
Silent prayer.
黙祷終わります。ご着席ください。
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So now, can you unmute yourself too? Okay, good. So,
Can you hear me?
yes, we can. And so anytime. I just wanted to ask her to introduce herself, and as well as introducing the song that she played before. And yeah, so by the way, in a film also she was singing Japanese song during the exhibition is going on too. So thank you.
Thank you for inviting me this event at the music. My name is Lula Leila, a singer-songwriter. I recorded that song, that video song, with Siddhartha Mehta. He played tabla, that is Indian percussion, and I played tambour, that is from the Kurdish instrument, and then I singing 3 languages. It is the poem is from Dr. Javad Nurbakhsh, and it was originally Farsi, and they published English version also. So I sang Farsi and English, and then translated it in Japanese. To Japanese. But the same just words is only 4 lines poem, the same meaning. Then I think we put that poem on a video, so I think you can listen and see that poem that is talk about essence of peace. So hopefully you liked it and you could enjoy it. Thank you very much for inviting me. And also in the video, that song is not my poem and not my composition too. That the original one is my composition, but on the video, that peace video, that is maybe you could see that the meaning of words also, but it is kind of no more atomic bomb, like no third atomic bomb in the all over the world. That music. So thank you for listening to the music. I appreciate. Thank you.
You can use, you can share also your thoughts for the piece through the music, since you play the music, and I know you try to bring the piece through the music, as I understand. So if you want to share a few words for that, that would be also appropriate here. So thank you. You can do it.
About peace?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think like peace is from each people, because peace is a harmony of the universe. So anyway, at first I'm praying everybody's happiness, because it is seed of peace. And then yes, I try to do what I can for everyday work, everyday life, for peace. And then maybe sign up for your new project. I didn't know about the Japanese didn't sign for against the nuclear weapon. It's surprise.
Well, so thank you for sharing, because I understand, because we just had the 9/11, right? So you mentioned before you were very, very, what do you call it, active, the physically appear and, demonstrate and so forth.
Yes.
But now you changed sort of like, a lot of course, that was 20 years ago. So, but
yeah.
yet, so.
Yeah, like when after September 11, I did lots of, I joined lots of rallies or like marching, but the war would be happen. So I'm thinking what I can do for more than like rally or marching, because sometimes when people get together, they start to make another war, like, yes, we are justice, then you are wrong, like that the activity happen. So I'm thinking like independent activity also.
Okay, so yeah,
it's like spiritual activity.
Sure. So that's why, in a way, her music is like kind of demonstrating, but not physically, but also, kind of spiritual sense, and so that I thought it was very interesting to hear from you. So thank you very much. Okay, thank you for your music, and hope you will continue to help us to do this. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, James. Pia, are you around?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You're gonna say a few words now? Let me disappear myself. I don't. I just. Okay. And Pia, thank you. Do you want me to introduce, or aren't you going to say a few words now? Yeah, if you're ready. I can hear you, I think. You're on screen.
Okay, thank you very much for having this International Day of Peace. We have been doing a lot of works for the past few days, and this is a universal peace, that the peace should be come from myself, from me, peace from me, that we can spread, that then we can spread this to into compassion and loving kindness. That's why after seeing the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the nuclear bombing, we feel very still sad, and also expression of our compassion towards the Japanese people and also the people from around the world. And 9/11 is another recent kind of the violence that breaking of the peace that has both these two incidents has made humankind awaken of and need of the peace, and that should be developed from ourselves, and we have to train our young people, students, our children, that how the importance of peace, as the Buddha was the world peace, a peace messenger, and has spread the peace around the world from 2,500 years before. And his message of peace is very relevant in this 21st century. And we still should practice. If we all people from around the world practice really inwardly the message given by the Buddha, there will be no war in this world. So as we are coming from different background, different races, different countries, but the peace is universal, that is needed by everybody. So around the world now, many people, even for myself as a Buddhist, and also working with the Interfaith, and also for the empowering young people with all the global networks, and also with the help of our International Buddhist Education Center. We are trying to set up in Asia, Africa, and Europe, and America, and Australasia. It's all for the bringing the young people. We want to train the young people with the message of peace. Let them feel the peace, and let them spread the peace, and hope that we will have peace around the world. And also this Heiwa Peace Foundation is also really the center point. I can see the word peace. After the Japanese word, inside that circle, I can see the word peace. So how all, not only the Buddhist, just earlier I saw this Interfaith, all brothers, sisters, everybody now striving, making a lot of efforts. Even UN also recognize and having this proclaim that the International Day of Peace. Also, even UN came out more forward, having all interfaith and the gurus, leaders, religious leaders, assembly in the United Nations. And also recently, United Nations accepted, observed, and recognized the Vesak Day. It's Buddha's birthday. That also another recognition given by the United Nations. And also coming up World Interfaith Days, and also in February 1st to 7th, it's an International Day of celebration of Interfaith Harmony Week. So these are the all that comes calendar of the year. All our brothers and sisters, religious leaders, and interfaith groups all come together. And now it's another effort. This is also our small effort. Let's talk about the peace, how we can maintain the peace, and how milestone important of the peace. And also our Venerable Dr. Sovich also explained about the peace, and peace is very necessary in Myanmar, and politically not stable. So in this way, what we can do is we can pray and hope that our Bante also, who is doing a lot of humanity works, bringing the peace around the world, in India, where we need to spread the word of peace through the love and kindness and humanitarian works. So this is very much appreciable, and also very much our DK Nagagaki Reverend also very much working very hard to bring a peace, working in the New York, having all the difficulties connecting to the Asia and throughout the world. And he has doing a lot of works and virtually and physically, of course, will be in very soon. Virtually is doing very lot to spreading the news of the peace, promoting interfaith harmony. And this is very remarkable. So, and thank you very much, all of us, all our reverends, the religious leaders, and our brothers and sisters. Also, like to thank you very much. Also, James, he has been doing a lot and moderating our program for the past few programs, and look forward in future, because my voice is that still not come out very well due to recent catch-up call because weather change in Nepal. And due to this pandemic, we all are suffering a lot. And this year is also another hard year for us. Hope that next year will be more better for us, and look forward to seeing each other soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, so yeah, so let me just hi. So yeah, thank you. So thank you for encouraging us to sort of like organize together again. Although I mean, I appreciate your what do you call it? Persistency. I guess you push us very well also. So I'm very happy that you encouraged me to do this too. Because without your push, I may not do anything this time. It was so much things going on, but because of the any nation, as you mentioned, as we know, so many stuff going on. But then because of that, I guess this day will be important. And thank you, Pia, from the International Buddhist Education Center. So from the Nepal, what are you praying with? You're going around, but anyway, I can't hear you though. If you want to say something, can you unmute yourself? Oh, it goes okay. Anyway, so thank you, Pia, to share the thoughts. Is one of the. Oh, okay, you're up. Are you gonna unmute yourself so you can say?
No, it's okay. I already spoke everything.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you were saying something.
I want to speak. Yeah, I want to speak more because my voice doesn't allow me to speak more. That's why.
But that's cool. So I guess you can create a peace with your wife, of course, for today, definitely. But yeah. So let me. James, also, I thank you for James to be part of it here.
I'm here the whole time.
You're here. Because I wasn't sure whether.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
No, I didn't want to distract. Sometimes you have other people's faces, and we cannot focus.
Put us together. Sometimes it would be nice to have a conversation like this, also. So what any particular thoughts after you saw the videos and
No, I think it was very wonderful. I think so the world's at a crucial time now. The Buddhist message, as a Buddhist, I feel, as you said about the three poisons, it was very poignant to see the people from Hiroshima, Nagasaki talk about their suffering, about the shared humanity, about the need to work as one planet. We are at a critical juncture to me right now. We have a choice, like a fork in the road. The Buddha will make sure everything's okay with whichever way we go, but one could be a road of a great challenge, and one could be one of great harmony. Wa, right? Wa in Japanese, great harmony, right? And so in this way, I'm thinking that even if we touch one or two people's hearts as a result of this activity, if we awaken one person to their dignity of their life and the dignity of other people's lives, it'll be more than worth our efforts here today.
Mhm. Okay, well, thank you. So I just, of course, I wanted to show many people's efforts. I mean, Dr. Chowdhury, I was going to just stop before, but but then I have a little part of the other people. I was going to show because his talk is pretty wonderful too, but we can't show everything. So, but then one of the reasons that I thought it would be good today to speak is at least. It's deeply related to the January 22nd this time, and we could probably do something on a International Peace Day. We do something, so maybe some kind of peace action. So I was even thinking maybe, I send. I have to show you later, but the passage or message that I like to send to Japanese government is basically make the Japan to be the part of the signer and also the ratify the treaty basically, and so it's time for Japan to go to the also the way for peace. And of course, they have been very peaceful, but maybe they're kind of patiently. It's always tend to be late to the action, but so hopefully this time they'll like to push, and also maybe people who can write something to Japan from the other country as well. So maybe I'll open up to the signing for not only Japanese but also anybody who might wanted to say something. But anyway, let me just continue. Like, give me 10 more minutes. So 10. So we just finish up some of the short passage of the people who say, and then there's a
shut my picture up again.
little short version of the music too. But it's really short. So I just wanted to tell you ahead of time for everyone. It's not. I mean, each music is very wonderful, but you just really short part of the people participate, and then there's an art part you saw, right? The people try to express the their feeling through the arts, and also so I just wanted to have a little, with my appreciation, I just wanted to have the people appear who gave the talks, like so the keynote speakers for both days we had, and some young leaders also speaking, and so I just wanted to show that. And after the video, probably like to invite Bante. I mean, I hope from Sanghakaya, I guess. I hope Venerable Brasils Latana still. I hope he's there. Okay.
He's there.
Yeah. So after the 10 minutes, I will invite him to the.
Yes, Venerable. I'm here only.
Oh, you're here. Oh, okay. So you wanna join a little conversation here also? I just wanted to make sure you're here. So do you see? I don't know. Do you have your face up here? Okay. Is this the one that I should choose?
Can you see my video?
Oh, video part. Oh, okay. I'm looking for your face. So is this is a I don't know which one. Maybe this one.
Venerable Prashil Ratna Gautam.
Yeah, I don't see your face though.
Actually my laptop.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if that's the case, maybe I'll ask you to come back, after I share the screen then. Okay. So I'll continue from the Ambassador Chowdhury talk, and then we'll come back for the talk. Okay. So let me do that. So let's still continue for some parts. So I just wanted to appreciate very much for those people who also participate in a peace ceremony on this time. So, okay, let me share now. I hope that will work.
This is an interfaith peace gathering. I would like to emphasize that all religions, all faiths, all beliefs teach us to be good human beings with compassion for each other. Their teachings, their messages are noble and universal. But on many occasions, those are, as we say, lost in translation, failing to create true understanding and generate a spirituality that makes our planet a better place to live. One of the most spiritual things we can do is to embrace our humanity, connect with those around us to show understanding, respect, compassion, and appreciation for each other.
We must work across bridges, across oceans, not just as two countries. There are 9 nuclear countries. And the UN, with the passing of the TPNW, showed that it was the countries without the nuclear weapons, because they had the legal ability to say, these weapons affect me. We must stop them. We can't have a successful planet. We must use the money, the science, the brilliant scientific minds that are going into these weapons, and shift it to creating a new environment.
To really sort of bring about change and really think about security in new and creative ways. So that's kind of where some of the work that we're doing right now. I'm working on research. I'm starting a PhD on this particular issue. So I'm very excited for some of the possibilities, and I think this is our moment. These right now really is the moment to be seized in terms of finding new ways to move forward. Think about not just a world without nuclear weapons, but a world beyond nuclear weapons, and what that might what that might mean for human, not just for us to survive, but for us to thrive as a global community.
高校生の時に、私の親友を白血病で亡くして、核兵器をなくさなければという、決意をしました。
When I was in high school, I lost my close friend by leukemia. This experience made me think that nuclear weapons need to be eliminated from our world.
私は、小学校の教員として、子どもたちに平和の尊さを教えていこうと決意をいたしました。
Then I decided to teach children about preciousness of peace as an elementary school teacher.
every ocean. Brand new star from Nagasaki in New York and Hiroshima. Many places in the world. Nagasaki.
Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Honorary Chairman of Hiroshima-Kaya, New York.
My name is Koji Sato, and I am Vice President of the Japanese American Association of New York.
キャラグループの代表で、ニューヨーク平和ファンデーションの秘書をしております。愛瀬里乃と申します。
Good morning. Again, my name is James Lynch, and I'm the current president of the Buddhist Council of New York.
Hi, this is Toshiko Kobayashi, an art therapist. Lives in New York.
My name is Tai-san Tanaka. I'm Japanese calligrapher.
Hello. Greetings from Leiden, Holland. I'm Molly Ackerman, the painter.
Hello everyone. This is my video message from Japan. My name is Natsuko Hattori.
I'm Carletta Joy Walker, and I'll be reading an excerpt from Peace is Sanity 3.
Okay, so let me see. So this last one is the one that I have for online. So for the asking Japan to be part of, ratified also, or sign and ratify. So if you're interested in, I mean, those are all written in Japanese. There's a small explanation in English, very end of the explanation. But if you go to the voice.charity/events/181, and that's where you find sort of like a online, thing. So all you need is a name and your email. And so if you like please also help us to push Japan to do things. But then maybe you might want to start the same thing to your country as well. So anyway, that's the information that you may need at this point. Now, let me go back. Oh, okay. So I put, let me make the Venerable come back.
Yes, Venerable.
Oh, good, good. Let me, are you able to show yourself?
Yeah.
Great, great. Yeah, so.
Actually, my camera is not working properly. Actually,
Oh, is that right?
my laptop is not working totally properly from some days.
Ah, okay, that's what's happening there. Okay,
Yeah,
but shall I give you, anyway, do you have screen change?
Now you
Oh,
can
good,
see.
good. Now, yeah, now we can see. Now we can see. Let
Okay,
me,
great.
yeah. Then the floor is yours, and then thank you very much for, all your hard work also in India and at the temples. And so everybody has their difficulties, but at the same time, we just do the best that we overcome all those things, and then we can help each other. This way is a great way to work together. So thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So first of all, thank you everyone, those who have participated here, and I give special thanks to Venerable Nakagaki, Venerable Pia Ratna Mahajan, James, Lula, and the participant, those who are watching to us. Today is a day of peace, and our master, our teacher, and our ancient wisdom, they taught us how to practice the peace in our day-to-day life. As all we know, without peace, we can't live or we can't survive, and we can't live peacefully, or we can't create a peaceful society. So even our United Nations Charter, it's also told us to how to live peacefully in our day-to-day life. And our master, our Buddha, he also told, without peace, there is no life. So we should practice peace, and we should avoid the pieces, to create the pieces in our community or in the society or in the world. Now you can see the Afghan problem nowadays. It's a very very difficult and very tough time for the Afghanis. So through the violence, they want to rule the world. But our master, our ancient wisdom, they taught us how through the peace we can win the world. And our master, the Lord Buddha, he taught us, and through that he won the world and he won the heart. So that's why our United Nations also, they celebrate the Vaisakh Day. It is very important thing for us. So even in my life, when we practice the peace, so we can observe our mental health as well as our physical health. It get improves. So through the peace, we can achieve lots of things in our life. So I just want to say thanks to everyone, especially for the organizer, especially Venerable Nakagaki, Heiwa Peace Foundation from New York. The Venerable Nakagaki, he is also the Honorable President for Sanghakaya Foundation, and he's always tried to support all my activities by wholeheartedly. And I'm really appreciating and I'm really respect to him, to Venerable Nakagaki. And through his help, now I'm helping the needy people in India. Now this 9th and 10th October, we are organizing Sangadana for monks and nuns. We are offering grocery in a big amount, as well as some financial help, as well as some medical equipment also. So how we can survive and how we can live together in this tough time. So this is the message of our Lord Buddha. Through the peace and through the love and compassion, we should live in this tough time. So thank you to everyone, those who are watching this online session. I'm really appreciating. And I just want to share one thing with you. Most probably this December, we are planning to organize 5th International Buddhist Conference in India. So it will not be online, maybe online, but physically you can come. And how we can give a message of peace, love, compassion, brotherhood, and the solidarity to across the world. The theme is that only peace, love, compassion, brotherhood, and mental health and heritage. We have a subject. So those who want to give their like any presentation or any article, or personally they want to visit or they want to participate, they want to be as a speaker. So it's a total 5 days conference. So they can come. Venerable Nakagaki, you're always welcome. So you all be a part of the main organizing team. So you have to be here only. So anyhow, you have to do whatever you want to do, but you have to be here only on that time. When P.R. Ratan, you should also come here at the time of conference. We most probably organizing in Mumbai. So 2 days in Mumbai and 1 day will be in Nagpur. Now I'm in Nagpur. Nagpur, it's a Buddhist capital. So out of 5 million population in Nagpur, so around 40% population, it's a Buddhist population, and lots of Buddhist monks and lots of Buddhist temples are here. Maybe around 200 Buddhist monks lives in Nagpur city only. So we are organizing 1 day program here and 2 days sightseeing. So most probably 5 days program we are planning to organize. So need your guidance, support, and whatever best way you can do to make a success this conference. So it will be a great help. I'm just a small volunteer. I'm just a small Dhamma worker to organize such a things, but need your more and more support to make a peaceful India and to make a peaceful world. So thank you everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Do you want to offer some prayer as a conclusion, or maybe? Oh yeah. Before that, do we have anybody from the group? Any announcement that you need to make? Then maybe we can ask Bante. But then James, you want to say a few words? Anything from the Buddhist Council of New York, maybe?
Well, I said what I was going to say. Hi, Venerable Prashil. It's good to see you. I was going to say that the Buddhist Council of New York is going to be doing, of course, Meditate NYC. And we've forestalled it. It will be out. Hopefully everybody will see it. I can't remember the date. Venerable Nakagaki, do you remember the date off the top of your head? I don't remember the date. That was the only thing I don't remember. The date. It will be in November, I think the 13th. I think it's that, November the 13th.
Yeah, I think.
13th. So hopefully if everyone would come out and join us, I think it'll be a very beautiful time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pia, anything do you have?
No, okay, then. Thank you very much for everyone who attended here. Though even short time that we were able to again meet together, and as there are few announcements that Bante also want to have a conference to be held in December, and also what James has already said, some event in New York. Hopefully that we can come back again, and we can hopefully again make a bigger organizing in coming days, like maybe next year on the International Interfaith Harmony Week. So again, we come as a team, and little much time. So with more collaboration with the worldwide Buddhist network, Interfaith network, we can make it a grand Interfaith Harmony Week 2022. And meanwhile, we can meet in December in India, and also can discuss in a way how we can help each other in humanitarian efforts, establishing peace and the Dhamma works, and promoting the peace activity around the world and our neighbors. And in this way, we came together and become our friendships, and through our this kind of dialogue and meetings, actually, we made long-term friendships. And with this kind of platform, of course, it become a global platform, meeting each other and knowing you in Nagasaki, and also when we invited Bhante Pratnasila also, like we become like friends now, even like coming back to James and Lydia. It's like that. We are coming together with all our works. So thank you very much again. The efforts has been taken by Nagaki, and in a very short time we were able to come out this event. It was more than 2 hours 20 minutes. We thought it was like 40 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 1 hour or half an hour. Okay, sorry.
No, it was
but at least it's a good. I hope it's a good program. And then
anyway,
also, I'm actually planning
we had a chance to listen.
Yeah. And then actually, I'm
at least we
planning
had
to
chance to
go.
hear we see the video. It's the first time we are listening.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of some people, for them it's a new things, but then also if you're interested in watching entire things, I decide to do actually just showing the video, and I have a little comments like this, but then the video itself is a little over 2.5 hours. So if you are patient enough, well, it's a good practice of patient, I guess, to listen to the entire parts of the ceremony itself, what we had. I thought maybe this, since it's a lot of peace things going on, and then especially, the nuclear is something that we never really focus on this time. So I thought it might be good to focus. So 24th in the evening, and then 25th on the evening, like 7 o'clock. I'm gonna just show it and watch together. so it's already on YouTube. So I'm gonna turn off YouTube one, and I just use it on only 27 and 25 to show. So that's 7 o'clock in the evening, New York time. So I don't know how I calculate, but anyway. So I thank you again for everyone for your support and everything. And then so very towards the last parts, I think Bhante will lead us to some chanting of blessings that we can do. So I'll give you the what do you call it, stage. So we're gonna leave. So can you lead us the meditations or blessings and here at this point? Can you unmute yourself? Right. Okay. Oh, okay.
But you can unmute.
Yeah. Can you?
We cannot hear you.
Maybe I can just start the little bell so you're ready.
Yeah,
Should I start the prayer?
Please.
Okay, the blessing prayer. Sabitiyo vivajantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatu antarayo sukhi digayuko bhava abhivadana silesa nichang vadapachayino Chattaro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayu Arogya Sampatti Sabba Sampatti Mevacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Samijjatuti Ichitang Pachitang Tuyang Kipameva Samijjatu Sabbe Purentu Chitta Sankappa Chando Pannoraso Yathati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu.
And good night from us, and good morning to you.
Yes, please be safe, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
Good night.
Take care. Bye bye. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Peace to you all.